13 teenagers who overdosed on prescription medication at a party Friday night are still hospitalized this morning. Police found some bottles of a muscle relaxant called baclofen at a Boys and Girls Club dance Friday night. Officials know who gave out the drugs. They would not identify the person. Some of the teens are in critical condition and could be on life support for as long as a week. Actress Elizabeth Taylor is recuperating this morning from a seizure. Doctors at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center say that the situation is not serious. Taylor, who turned 65 on Thursday, suffered the seizure on Saturday. She was at her Bel Air home at the time, recovering from brain surgery 9 days ago. Well, first it was sheep, and now scientists are cloning monkeys, a species much closer to humans. The Washington Post is reporting that Oregon scientists are using a technique similar to the one that Scottish researchers used to clone sheep. Well, meanwhile, the sheep cloning experiment has caused so much controversy in London that the British government has announced that it will cut off its funding. To California now, where there's a movement underway to stamp out breast cancer. By adding a penny to the price of a postage stamp, organizers hope to raise thousands of dollars for breast cancer research. NBC's Farland Chang reports.
Hello, Roberta.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, thank you.
Feeling all right?
Yeah.
Dr. Ernie Bodai has a simple plan. Buy a stamp and save a life. As chief of surgery at Sacramento's Kaiser Permanente Medical Center, Dr. Bodai has done well over 1,200 breast cancer procedures. Hoping to shrink that number, he came up with the idea of a special 33-cent postage stamp, like this, to be sold alongside the regular 32-cent ones. The extra penny would be used to boost the nation's breast cancer research budget.
I was looking for a creative, painless way to raise funds for increasing breast cancer research and trying to find a cure for this horrible disease.
But the Postal Service is concerned about becoming involved with a charity fundraiser, something it's never done before. Once the door is open, regulating which groups and what causes are worthy could quickly become controversial. Last year's attempt to get congressional approval failed. A new bill was proposed in January.
Breast cancer is a scourge in our society. Increasingly, people are vulnerable to it.
And on the front lines, medical facilities such as the Breast Center in Van Nuys, California, the first standalone breast treatment center in the country. To them, the stamp is long overdue.
Clearly, that will bring a great deal of more money into play in breast cancer research.
Research now underway to discover breast cancer before it appears.
They are looking for the genetic to find a gene that causes breast cancer.
We've got the best minds in the world here in this country trying to find a cure for breast cancer. We just lack the funding to do so.
To help persuade Congress to pass the new bill, Dr. Bodai and his supporters are planning a media blitz, including appearances on daytime TV talk shows. Farland Chang, NBC News, Los Angeles.
And let's take a look now at what's on the calendar for today, March 2nd. Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat is scheduled to arrive at Edwards Air Force Base today. He'll begin a 3-day visit to Washington, D.C. and to other parts of the country. Researchers say they've identified a so-called fat gene and will report their findings today in the scientific journal Nature Genetics. And more than 30,000 world-class runners, cyclists, and for the first time, inline skaters will hit the streets of Los Angeles for the 12th annual Los Angeles Marathon today. When NBC Nightside returns, deadly storms raged through 5 states. We'll show you how 2 NBC affiliates covered the disaster coming up in just a moment.
If you have a headache and can't sleep, call this number for a free booklet from Excedrin PM. Learn the causes of nighttime pain and sleeplessness and some time-tested methods to manage them. For your pain and sleeplessness, we'll also send you a free sample of Excedrin PM. So call us now at 1-800-301-0018. Sleep well from Excedrin PM.
If you can do this, you can make wood beautiful with Minwax. And if you can do this, you can give wood lasting protection. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
Like proper diet and exercise,
Craftmatic beds help your body feel better for watching TV, reading, sewing, or just putting your feet up and relaxing. You can't beat a Craftmatic adjustable bed. Yet Craftmatic Model 2 beds are inexpensive. Call toll-free to get free information by mail about Craftmatic. Call for this important information now.
Call toll-free 1-800-718-5959.
What does it take to make tap water taste like this? Very little. The unique filter inside the Brita water filtration pitcher reduces lead and chlorine. Brita makes tap water wonderful.
Virtually everyone who applies for this Visa credit card will be approved. If you meet these minimum requirements, you will be approved for this unsecured Visa credit card. This means you're not required to pay a security deposit to obtain your Visa credit card, even if you've been turned down before and regardless of your past credit history. Now you can be approved for the credit you need with no security deposit required. This is a limited time offer. Find out if you're among the thousands who will be approved for this no-risk unsecured Visa credit card. Call our toll-free number now.
As we've been reporting, it's been a deadly weekend weather-wise for much of the South. While tornadoes hammered parts of Arkansas, torrential rains fell in Kentucky, and that triggered massive flooding. The town of Arkadelphia in Arkansas was hard hit. As many as 20 people were killed in the state, according to the governor. Louisville, Kentucky had some of the worst flooding. Almost 10 inches of rain fell between Friday and Saturday evening. That is a record rainfall for a 24-hour period for Louisville. We get more now on both of these deadly storms from our NBC affiliates in Little Rock, Arkansas and Louisville, Kentucky. We begin with the aftermath of the Arkansas tornado Saturday night from KARK-TV in Little Rock.
This is Arkansas's 24-hour news and weather channel. Live on News 4 at 10. Now, this is News 4.
Tonight, all is quiet in Arkadelphia. Unlike earlier today, Arkadelphia, another city devastated by the tornado. Amy Morrow has been in Arkadelphia all evening and joins us now by telephone. Amy, what can you tell us?
Kevin, the death toll here still stands at 2 in the city of Arkadelphia and 2 in Clark County. A woman was killed while working in a downtown business. A man killed in his home. Another man killed while on the interstate. The 4th person died of natural causes. No names are being released at this time. Injuries are now at about 60 people. Some of those injuries serious. Right now, police still have the downtown area, the east side of town, blocked off. You can see why looking at all the damage. Some of the worst damage done to businesses and city buildings. About 14 blocks of downtown Arkadelphia are in ruins. The courthouse clock was even destroyed. While businesses once stood, there is now nothing. Several homes, including an entire mobile home park, also destroyed. Now, many people are relying on friends, family, and the Red Cross for shelter tonight. All of it happened in just a matter of seconds. Some were lucky and took cover just in the nick of time.
They called and we had heard on the news that the tornado was on the way. I just told them to lock the doors and get out and go wherever they could.
Have you ever seen anything like this since you've had this store here?
No, not at all. Hadn't seen anything like it ever.
I was right over here in the photo lab. This is a 1-hour photo lab. Felt my ears about to pop. Ran into the darkroom, which actually goes over into the next building. Got under a bench. The roof fell in.
We had been out at the lake training for an upcoming annual training, and we heard the tornado sirens go off out at the lake. Motivated ourselves to come back to the area. If we had been 30 seconds sooner getting back to the area, we would not have been here to provide the help that is needed by this community.
Now, 150 members of the National Guard remain here tonight, keeping the area secure and helping with the tremendous cleanup. Right now, there's no power on the east side. There are gas leaks everywhere. Energy and ARCLA crews expected to work throughout the night. There is some good news. Both colleges, Henderson and Ouachita, were spared. No major damage to either of those